Hey all, my name is Preston Lyons, and this video is a brief overview and explanation of a mission trip to Japan that I will hopefully be making this May. First off, I want to thank you all so much for spending your time and energy watching this video. I know all of you are probably very busy, and I really appreciate it. The heart behind this video is to be able to explain this trip and my heart behind going without sending each and every one of you a super long and daunting text or email. I've learned from experience that I rarely read those, so I thought a video would be better and hopefully more entertaining. Okay, I want to start off by telling some backstory of why I want to go on this trip. Last fall, I had the amazing opportunity to go share at a Christian retreat for college students at the James Madison University. And there I met a guy that would change my whole perspective. His name was True River, which, by the way, that's one of the coolest names to this date that I've ever heard. True River, what a name. But he was a practicing Buddhist. And we connected because we both grew up playing baseball and had both found faith during the ends of our times playing. However, I put my faith in Jesus, and he put his faith in himself through Buddhism. See, in America, most of our view of Buddhism has been a favorable one, that they're just a peaceful and therapeutic practice. And while some of that is true, there are some parts of Buddhism that are incredibly sad and heartbreaking, along with them just being false based on the Christian ideology of the world. See, I talked a lot with True River that weekend and researched a lot when I got back home, and I learned that Buddhism teaches that all of our desires lead to suffering, and that life itself is suffering. So naturally, the goal of Buddhism is to eliminate all their desires. And this doesn't mean just like pride and jealousy and hatred, but it also means love and hope. Any desire you have has to be eliminated. And once you do this, you almost reach this state of numbness, which they call enlightenment. And once you reach this state, they believe you stop reincarnating. So reincarnation is just the fact that you live once, and then at the end of the life, based on karma, you'll reincarnate into either a better or worse version, depending on how you lived your previous life. But they believe once you reach enlightenment, you stop reincarnating and stop that process and go to this place called nirvana, which is their version of heaven. But it really is just eternal nothingness, eternal state of enlightenment, which in their mind is better than the suffering we experience now and here on earth. And that's why they wish to go there. Learning this broke my heart for True River for multiple reasons. See, in Christianity, we believe that the world we live in is broken and fallen, but that life itself is definitely not suffering, but actually has the ability to be amazing. We also believe that desires aren't inherently bad, and that when we use them for the glory of God and in the right way, they can actually lead to life and life to the fullest. We believe love is one of the greatest desires of all time, and God desires to love us. They believe love is a trait that's a negative for you. With all this said, my heart truly broke for all those who think they can save themselves through Buddhism and are without the hope of Jesus. This winter, I got asked if I wanted to go on a mission trip to Japan, a country predominantly dominated by Buddhism, and I knew I had to go. On this trip, we will be partnering with some Japanese missionaries in Tokyo for about 10 days, visiting different Japanese college campuses and spending time learning about the Japanese culture, with also the hope of sharing about Jesus and the hope that he brings to the college students in Japan. It's a trip that I felt like I couldn't pass up on, and a trip that I feel very much called to. And this video is to ask you guys to partner with me on this trip. And this could be through giving and supporting me on my trip, and if you want to do that, I would be so greatly appreciative. However, more importantly, I ask that you would partner with me in prayer. See, Japan is only around 0.5 to 1% Christian, and there's a lot of spiritual warfare. And I would be ignorant and wrong to think that the mission trip will be fruitful at all without the Spirit of God guiding us and being with us. See, Japan is full of people who are longing for purpose and worth, and Jesus is the solution to both of those things, but there's not many people there to tell them about him. So I want to end with this verse from Romans 10, verses 13 and 14. It says this: "For everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. But how can they call on him if they have not believed in him? And how can they believe in them unless they have heard about him? And how can they hear about him without someone preaching it to them?" See, this verse is true more in Japan than most places, because it is estimated that 95% of the population has never heard a clear presentation of the gospel and are without the hope of Jesus. The Japanese culture has a cultural belief that says seeking help is a weakness, and enduring the hardships of life is just part of it, and there's no way around it. And this leads to Japan having some of the lowest percentage of those claiming mental illness and depression, while simultaneously having one of the highest suicide rates in the world. See, they need the truth. That needing help doesn't mean you're weak. It just means you're human. and that there's a God that took on flesh to show you that you can't do it all by yourself, but if you give your life to him, he truly can heal you. And I believe that. I truly think Jesus can heal Japan of their ideology of rejecting help and having to figure out everything by themselves. But they have to know who he is and how to call on him. Thanks so much for your time. And if you want to support my journey financially, the link is in the description. Or you can just text me, email me, and I'll send it your way. Or DM me, whatever. I'll get it to you. But more importantly, like I said earlier, if you could pray for me and our team to have a fruitful trip while we're there, that would be so greatly appreciative. We know we can't change Japan in 10 days, but we also know we can help point them to the one who can change and heal Japan. Thank you all so much.